Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we'll be exploring 10 pieces of trivia you should know about Moby Dick.
I will chase that white whale round Good Hope and round the Horn, around the Norway maelstrom and perdition's flames before I give him up. This is what you've shipped for, men!
Number 10, based on a true story. Kicking off our Moby Dick trivia list is a factoid about the origins of Herman Melville's 1851 novel. For his epic work, the author combined his own boating experiences with other real-world events. The plot of his tale was based both on the story of a ship called the Essex, which sank in 1820 when it was attacked by a whale, and on the 1830 slaughter of an albino sperm whale called Mocha Dick. Number 9, a metaphorical tale of evil.
This is an evil voyage, I tell you.
Moby Dick is a literary tragedy, wherein Ahab ignores his own limitations while foolishly dictating his life to vanquishing a living embodiment of pure evil. The novel's foreboding atmosphere suggests that certain doom lies ahead of the captain and his crew aboard the Pequod, as evidenced by such small details as the strange behavior of the fish and birds.
He's near. He's very near. Be ready for him.
Number 8, a coffin for a bed. In the 1956 film adaptation of the novel, the obsessed Captain Ahab is told to get some sleep by his chief mate, Starbuck. However, Ahab refuses and calls his berth a coffin, and ironically, that's exactly what it was.
Sleep. That bed is a coffin, and those are winding sheets.
Officers used to sleep in a box so that upon their untimely death, they could be buried at sea. The rest of the crew slept in hammocks, which also served as burial shrouds. Number 7, a fake prop whale. A long-standing misconception is that the crew of the 1956 film built a complete 60-foot prop whale from head to tail. In reality, they used specific sections of the whale's body as needed while on location. The only complete whale props used were miniatures shot in a special tank back at the film studio, where they simultaneously recorded all of the whale's headshots.
Oh, ye whale! Ye damn it, whale!
Number 6, shot on location. It was insisted that the 1956 film was shot on location in the Canary Islands and around Ireland. However, only a third of it actually was. The rest of the film was filmed in an English studio. Location shooting was impacted by stormy conditions, which made the crew sick and resulted in 2 years of production delays, plus a bloated $4.5 million budget that was 4 times the average of the time.
Whosoever of ye finds me that white whale, ye shall have this Spanish gold ounce, my boys.
Number 5, Hollywood's vision. In 1930, a very loose adaptation of Melville's classic novel was produced. It turned the source material into a standard Hollywood movie that did not properly convey what the story was about. Rather than portraying Ahab as a vengeful madman, he was depicted as a lovable scoundrel. His hatred for the whale came only from having lost his leg and for not believing that the whale was a source of evil that had to be defeated. Number 4, a true adaptation. There have been several adaptations of Melville's opus, but the screenplay of the 1956 film remained the truest to its source material.
Call me Ishmael.
However, due to its generally dark and depressing vibe, plus its lack of romance, female actors, or a happy ending, that version was shunned. After the script circulated Hollywood for a few years, it was finally put into production with A-lister Gregory Peck accepted for the role of Ahab.
What nameless, inscrutable, unearthly thing commands me against all human lovings and longings.
Number 3, the A-list actor. Unfortunately, Peck was widely considered to be terribly miscast as the domineering captain, since he was only 38 years old, and Ahab was written as an old man at the end of his career. He also struggled to recite prose, and almost drowned during the sea and whale hunting scenes.
But if the great sun cannot move except by God's invisible power, how can my small heart beat, my brain think thoughts, unless God does that beating, does that thinking, does that living, and not I?
So you'd think Peck would never want to be involved with Moby Dick ever again. However, the final acting role of his career was as Father Maple in the 1998 made-for-TV movie.
And God awaits him, comes upon him in a mighty whale, clamps all his ivory teeth about him, and swallows him whole.
Number 2, the Star Trek connection.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your little quest. Captain Ahab has to go hunt his whale.
This same 1998 film starred Patrick Stewart as Captain Ahab, and it was not the first time this British actor quoted Melville while portraying a ship's captain.
He piled upon the whale's white hump the sum of all the rage and hate felt by his whole race. If his chest had been a cannon, he would have shot his heart upon it.
Not that Star Trek has ever been a stranger to whale speak.
Admiral, there be whales here.
Number 1. Moby Dick's legacy. Rounding out our trivia list is the fact that the entire sci-fi genre seems to love this novel. The folks at Battlestar Galactica nicknamed their character Starbuck after Ahab's young chief mate. Scully from The X-Files was such a fan of the book, she called her dad Ahab, and she was dubbed Starbuck.
Hello, Starbuck. It's Ahab.
And while it's not a sci-fi franchise, the Starbucks coffee chain was named for this character as well. Think about that the next time you're waiting in line. What's your favorite piece of Moby Dick trivia? For more entertaining trivia lists, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
From hell's hot ice apathy, for hate's sake!